Ox21 here, back with another Splinterlands video. So I am here on my Peak Monsters page, and as you can see, I have most of my cards rented out. And I'm actually bringing in about $16 a day in DEC at current DEC prices. It's pumped up recently. We'll see if it's sustainable, but the team does seem committed to getting it up at peg and keeping it at peg. Again, I'm sure there'll be fluctuations up and down, but the closer we can get it around peg, the better. So let's just call this, $16 for the sake of this video. Maybe let's just call it 15 for easy math. The point of this video is I sort of looked back over the past month playing Splinterlands and took sort of inventory of what's changed over the last month for me. And one of the things I noticed had stagnated a little bit was my deck. And the reason for that is because lack of DEC income. So if I come here, see, I'm up to almost 13K SPS, almost 14K SPS. And it stakes, I don't unstake it. And just that extra step of unstaking and then transferring to DEC and then using that DEC to level up my deck, it's sort of working as intended, right? Because it's stopping me from doing it. I'm just letting my SPS pile grow. But I want my deck to keep growing. I want to keep getting better cards. I want to keep winning more matches. I want to improve myself both as a player and my deck as well, because, let's be honest, there's a huge skill component to this game, massive, but there's just some times where if you don't have the right card and you're playing against someone who's, the same level skill as you, you're not going to win a specific match. So having the cards is also really important. And that sort of informed this new strategy I'm going to run that we'll get into in this video. But before I do, just a reminder, I am Hawks21 and I cover Splinterlands here on the channel. If you are new to the community, it would be awesome if you could take a second to like and subscribe. Okay, so I had a few community members, people in my Discord, reach out to me directly actually and sort of ask for how am I reinvesting? And that's what sort of spurred my, look back over the past month. And I realized I really hadn't been. And a lot of these people had, a similar type experience where they found that they were just holding their SPS and their deck wasn't really growing. And right now, the easiest way to get DEC, right, is, so the SPS has been going on for battles long enough where you could have an unstaking schedule going, right? And people can do that, and I'm sure people do that. But just an extra step that I don't think a lot of people want to take. And I've done this before, but what I've found, for me at least, is the easiest way to get DEC and how I'm going to be doing it is through just renting out my entire deck. So the beginning of the seasons in Splinterlands, as everyone knows, is just such a grind. Such a massive, massive, massive grind. I basically play in Diamond and run on a treadmill and slowly creep up through Diamond over the first 10 days of a season, and then just don't really make any progress until the last 5. So instead of doing that, what I could do instead was just rent out my cards for those difficult days, and then last 5 days of the season, come back, play up through the leagues, and then by the end, I'll end up back in champion. It'll basically be the same thing, because the first 10 days that I play, I basically go from Diamond 3 to, low-level Diamond 2. So I'm not really making that much progress early on in any of the seasons anyways. And I'm definitely not earning about $15 a day in rewards. So for me, this is almost a no-brainer. So before I get into my actual plan, what are some of the downsides? First, my SPS is going to go down, right? I'm not earning SPS from battles, so it's not going to go down. my rate at which it increases is going to go down. I'm not going to be earning it from battles. I'm going to be earning less chests. And part of that too is less chests equals less potions. Although right now, I don't see myself opening up a ton of packs. Less merits for upgrading my Gladius cards. So there's definitely some downsides. And then for me personally, it doesn't really matter for you, but just a little less opportunity to make gameplay content, right? If I'm just playing less matches. But overall, the upsides of this greatly outweigh the downsides, in my opinion. And again, as most things we're talking about, my scale here isn't going to be the same as your scale, right? If you don't have, $18,000 worth of cards, you're not going to be able to earn $16 a day just renting them out. But everything is scaled, right? This strategy can be implemented by you, whether you're playing in silver, whether you're playing in gold, whether you're playing in diamond, to reinvest, to earn DEC, and then use that DEC to reinvest back into your deck. So as you can see here, I had almost 0 DEC before the start of the season, and I'm up to 65. So $65 worth of DEC. So I'm earning about $15 a day. And mainly, as you guys know, so if we go down here for rent, yes. My big money maker is obviously going to be Kitty. Almost at 8,000 DEC a day, right? That's about half of what I'm pulling in for DEC. But I have some other decent ones. Right now the Kelp Initiate's really high. My bot will autocorrect that down soon, I'm sure. But there's some stuff here that's pulling in decent amounts. So if we go to rates and return, obviously these low level cards don't mean anything, but what's a really high one that's going right now? Here we go. Here's probably my highest. Some Gargoyle Scrapers are going. Not bad. What else? Down to 500s. Oh, we had some cancel here. A lot of these Chaos Legion cards will sometimes go for really, really high rates. But anyways, so $15 a day in DEC. Now, what can I do with that? Right? So this was 5 days. And this is basically the exercise that I'm going to run periodically in the beginning of seasons when I'm stacking DEC. How can I add to my deck? And again, this is going to be different for you. So I'm going to scroll through and find cards that I don't have and I need, and maybe it's time for me to make a purchase. I don't think I'm going to make any purchases now because I want to be very specific. Here's one. Let's see. Oh, this ended up being a perfect example. Look, so 5 days of renting my cards out, and I could get a max level Ant Miners. I don't own Ant Miners, right? So 5 days of renting my cards, boom. I can add a very, very useful max level card to my deck. And, you say, well, if you're not playing your cards, what's the point of adding max level? Well, eventually I will play them for the last 5 days, but until then, 75 DEC a day, sure. That will just help me level up my deck quicker. Maybe you're in silver working your way to gold, and maybe you can earn $2 a day, right? Renting out your deck in the beginning of a season. Maybe you don't have this card fully leveled up. Maybe it's a level 4 and you're trying to work up to gold. So you need 100, you need 70 more. If we just look 2, so it was this 12, $13 in about a week, right? You can get almost up to the new gold level and unlock that poison, right? You can go from, I guess in silver you can play here. So if you were at max for silver and you moved up to gold, you can buy one here for $6. That would take you 3 days. Then you need to come here and grab some other ones. But I think this is the best strategy for people that are trying to level up their decks. Let's see here. Maybe you don't have this card in silver, and maybe let's say $2 a day, 8 days a week, and you could add this to your deck. Let's find another good example for me. Let's go here to rare. I have one that I think is going to work. Not here, but a legendary. So the Mordali Guardians one, I don't have fully leveled up. And I saw this one earlier. Boom, I'd have stuff left over, right? I think I have this at a level 5 or maybe even a level 6. If I wanted to pick up that strengthen, I could quickly come in here, get this with the DEC I got from renting, and put my other one up for sale. You know, a lot of maybe higher level players, right? You might not have your fiends leveled up. Let's take a look at the fiends. Yeah, look at this. This would have been 4 days, right? 4 days I could come in, get a max level fiend. And I don't mean to say like this is going to be your scenario. Again, I want to keep saying this to stress it. You know, this isn't going to be the case for everyone. Everyone's not going to have this level of per day capita. But for those looking to level up your decks and not really sure how to do it, you need to take advantage of the rental system. Okay? I made a previous video on how to get set up with Splinterlands. If you have questions on that, feel free to reach out to me either in the comments here or reach out to me on Discord and I can help you get all set up. But take advantage of this system to level up your deck, right? I think a lot of people are stacking up their SPS, which I think is great. I obviously have a big bag of SPS. I like SPS. I want to hold SPS for the long term. But if you've found that your deck's been a bit stagnant since the change, come in here. And I know crypto people, right? One of the benefits I have is that I'm not really a huge crypto person. So a lot of crypto people see 30% and they're like, meh. I see 30% and I'm like, oh man, that's huge, right? This is a massive return for me over a year. This is, I will take this all day long, compared to things that are offering massive returns that, either aren't real or aren't going to be around in weeks or months. So this 30% to me is huge. If I can get 30% a year on this number, I'm going to be able to compound my money very, very quickly. But again, I like playing the game too. So that's one of the downsides is during this period of time where you're renting out your deck, you can't play the game. And you need to remember that. So like you can't fight in guild brawls, you can't play tournaments. There are definitely some downsides to this. But I just made this video basically because I had a couple people saying they were struggling to move their decks forward given the switch. And this is how I'm doing it. So I encourage you to try it for yourself. Again, it'll be at a different scale than I am. But the rental market's amazing. It's one of the best things about this game economy. The ability to just sit here and earn $16 a day, doing nothing, not stressing, not grinding through diamonds, not banging my head against the wall as I win 2 matches, lose 2 matches, win 3 matches, lose a match, over and over and over and over and over again. Taking a couple days off and stacking my DEC to improve my deck and hopefully give myself an easier time moving through diamond a few seasons from now, I think is a very smart thing and something I'll be doing for the foreseeable future. All right, I'm gonna stop it there. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you can use this content to better your Splinterlands experience. If that's the case, let me know in the comments and don't forget to like and subscribe. All right, hope you had a great weekend and I will talk to you soon.